Hello, Emma here. Today I want to have a word about why you shouldn't resent people who take from you, those takers in your life. Now, if you're listening to this and this happens to you, you end up giving and giving and giving. People always seem to be taking from you. You always seem to be running around doing things for other people. I expect you've just sort of like taken a step back when I've said you shouldn't resent takers in your life. And that's because you're a nice person. Just by the fact that you're always running around doing things for other people, shows that you are a lovely, caring person. But at the end of the day, it is your responsibility to make sure that you are looked after first as a priority. And this might be news to you, but looking after yourself as a priority is not selfish. It is selfless. And that's because if you are one of these people who gives all the time or feels like you're giving all the time, if you don't look after yourself, you will run out of the internal resources to be able to give to others. And then you will get into this mindset and mental loop of resenting other people for taking from you because you're always giving. But actually, I'm sorry to say, but it's not their fault, it's yours. People who take from you often realise they're not doing it. They certainly don't realise it's causing you a problem. And people who are taking are often people who give themselves. And they see it, it's a particular personality type. They see it as a necessary reciprocal arrangement. If you help somebody out, they help you back. And there's no problem with asking for help, because when they ask you, then they're happy to give back to you. But the problem is with people who resent takers and are always giving, and don't know how to ask for help, is that they never ask for that help back. So it ends up a bit of a one-sided relationship. It's very often that people who you see as the takers in your life, they're not doing it intentionally, and they don't know. They genuinely, when they ask you to do something, or they ask for help, or you're giving your help willingly, they genuinely don't know that it's not right. It's not the right thing to do. Very, very few people deliberately take and don't give from other people. But if it's causing you a problem, it is your responsibility to fix. If somebody says, "Oh, can you help me with this?" and you go, "Yeah, of course, no problem." And then when it comes to it, you think, "Oh, why did I say that?" Then, you said yes. So you can't resent that person for asking and you saying yes. Now, often it seems okay at the time, and as it gets closer and closer and closer, then the issue or whatever it is you've got to do gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We call it the elephant syndrome. You see an elephant off in the distance and it's tiny, but as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, or closer and closer and closer rather, it gets bigger and bigger until it ends up a really big problem. But do you know what? The people in your life who ask for help or you're giving help to are okay with hearing, "No, I can't," or some reason why you can't. Now, you will have, I'm sure you will know people who are really good at eliminating your excuses. So just be genuine and go, "I'm sorry, I can't," or that's not something that is really a priority for me to get involved in, or whatever excuse or reason rather you want to come up with that says a definite, finite no. And I know it feels uncomfortable, and I know you'd rather say yes, but if you say yes and then resent somebody, that's your fault, not theirs. So learning how to say no. And people genuinely, they really, really are okay with hearing no. They would rather hear no than come to understand that you are hating doing whatever it was or resenting them for it. How would you feel, right? How would you feel if somebody was helping you out with something and then later you heard from somebody else that they really didn't want to do that, or it was causing them a lot of problems having to do that? You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you? And it's exactly the same for other people. They don't want you to do something for them if you don't want to do it. So learn how to say no. And it's about understanding how to resurrect your own barriers, how to be able to say no, how to be able to get across nicely that you can't do it, and also understanding that you have to come first, and it's for you accepting that you have to come first, and for getting your head around the fact that this is not selfish, it is selfless. Because when you do, and when you're looking after yourself as a priority, here's the lovely thing, then you are willing and able and happy to give to the things you want to. You're not always running around ragged, doing things you don't want to do because you said yes and couldn't say no. So I've put under here a link to a hypnotherapy MP3 that I've produced on my SoundCloud account that is about resurrecting your barriers. Download that, play it every night, listen to it when you're ready to go to sleep, when you're lying in bed, put it on. If you fall asleep, that's absolutely fine. But that will help you resurrect these barriers. And I've also put a link to one of the eBooks that I do, which is Too Nice to Say No. That's available as well. Or there are lots of information on the website and blogs about how you can start to say no and start to look after yourself first. So always drop me a line if there's anything I can help with. Until then, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.